Hi guys, this is Yashika. I am a mother of 21-month-old toddler named Nitya and I am a Montessori trainer. I share about Montessori and other parenting stuff on my Instagram page. It's baby-led parenting and I'll link it down in the description box for you to click and refer to my Instagram page and find most of the information out there. This is a requested video by my Instagram mommies on how to choose a Montessori preschool for your child, or what to look into a school when you visit a Montessori school, what you should be looking for to know that they are actually a good Montessori school. Actually, the thing is that Montessori itself in the name is basically not patent. So that means that any school, anywhere, any institution can use this name and it's not like they are following the Montessori philosophy. They can just use this name without being actually sticking to Montessori philosophy. So it gets a little difficult, not just a little, a very difficult task for us parents if we are on to going to the school or we want our child to go to a Montessori preschool. So it becomes a very hard task to find a genuine one or a good one at least. So I have made a checklist for my daughter, and on request, I'm sharing these points that I have listed in my checklist, so that you guys can also, when you visit a school, you can look for those points and decide for yourself whether you like it or whether you find it sticking more towards the Montessori approach or not. Okay, so here we get started. Okay, so the very first thing that you should be doing is go to the websites of AMS or AMI. I will link these two down in the description box. Visit their website. They have a database where they have listed the schools that are being accredited from them. AMI and AMS are genuine Montessori institutes, and if a school has the accreditation from any of these two institutes, that means it's a very good sign that they are following high standards. Now, if you do not find any school in your area that is listed in their database, uh, not a cause of worry. Do not get disheartened, because accreditation process is a very costly process. So most of the schools do not have much funding on their hands. They may tend to just leave the accreditation process and just keep following the Montessori approach in their school. So that is why it is always best to visit the school and look for yourself. Now, the rest of the points that I'm going to share with you will help you to determine whether the school you are visiting is actually following the Montessori approach, or it's just that like they have just printed out the name. Okay, so the first thing that you should be looking for in a Montessori school when you walk in a Montessori classroom or a school is that area actually set up for your child? Is your child able to access the materials in the classroom or in that area? Like the shelves. The shelves should be at your child's height. The art in the room or in the school premises, they should be at your child's height. It's not like there are pictures hanging high up on the wall and your child is not able to look at those pictures. So this is one thing that you should be looking for, that the area in the school or the classroom, it is easily accessible to your child. Okay, the second thing that you should look into the classroom or on the shelf is that the shelf shouldn't be overcrowded with too many activities kept together. Okay, it should be neat and in orderly manner with just enough activities on the shelf. Like they shouldn't be too many, they shouldn't be too less. If they have arranged or stacked most of the materials on a single shelf, that is gonna be overwhelming for the kid. Now, when you take a tour, not just look at the classroom, but look at the other areas in the school, like washrooms. Okay, the basins in the washroom, they should be at your child's height so that your child can wash their hands without help from adult. The toilet seats in the bathroom, they should be the child size toilet seats, and they should be at their level so that they can easily use them without help from the adult. So it's like that, they are not just practicing the Montessori principles in the classroom, but they are actually making the whole area or the school premises accessible to your child. It should be for your child. So if you see that the school you just have visited have they do not have child sized washroom, and they are telling you that we have kept a maid, she can help your child, so you can just ask that what is the use then, like if my child needs help from the maid every time she has to go to the bathroom. So is it actually Montessori? Are they actually Montessori in their approach? Are they actually following Montessori philosophy in those areas as well? So you can definitely look into this and point it out. The hooks in the in the classroom, or they should be at your child's height. Materials in the cupboards, they should be easily accessible to your child. The cupboards actually should be child sized, and they can easily open it and take out the material if they want to, or there are washcloths in there, so they can easily open and take it out. The furniture should be child sized. Actually, the furniture in most of the preschools, or the all of the preschools, are child size. That isn't a concerning point here, but you should be looking into the other areas as well, is what I want to convey here. And not just these areas, there should be an area for practical life activities as well. Like there should be an area where they have set up activity for shoe polishing, or they have set up an activity where, or materials where your child can go and cut an apple by themselves and eat it if they are hungry, or during the meal times there can be a snack corner where your child can make their own snack and eat. Next point on my checklist is that you should be looking for genuine Montessori materials like pink towel, brown stairs. You should look on the shelf whether they have kept some lacing activities or some puzzle activities for your child to explore and learn. Okay. Now the next thing you should be looking is that there should not be a chalkboard or a blackboard, if I say, in the classroom. And even if it is there, like they have already placed it, and you can ask what do they use it for. They shouldn't be teaching those alphabets, those numbers, or any concepts on the blackboard with the chalk. That is not what Montessori teaching is. The child is allowed to be in charge of their own teaching. If the teacher is standing in front of the class and rest of the class is just looking at the blackboard, what the teacher is teaching, that means it's not a Montessori approach at all. The teacher is the in charge of what the child will be learning today, and that is why she is teaching it on the blackboard, so that everyone can learn at the same time. So if you see a blackboard in the classroom, you should definitely ask your question about what it is used for. If they are just using it to, for a decoration purpose or something like that, that is fine. But if they say that we sometimes teach on this or something like that, it's not a Montessori school, because the teaching in Montessori is with the materials, okay, and the child is actually learning with hands-on approach. Your child is touching the material, your child is learning from the material, because the materials, they have control of errors. Now that is a thing that I shouldn't be going down in deep down in this video, that I'll explain you sometime later. Okay, so a blackboard in a class is a red flag for you. Moving on to the next point, the next point on my checklist is that the teachers over there, they should be well trained. If they have teachers trained from AMS or AMI or IMC, that means it's the teachers are trained enough to observe your child and help your child in this self learning or self exploration process. Next thing you can ask about classroom is that whether it is a mixed age classroom. Now in Montessori, we have mixed age classrooms which have kids from 2.5 or 3 years of age to 6 years of age, all in one classroom. Okay, they do not have separate rooms as per the age. The reason is that the small kids, they can watch the elder ones and they can learn from them. They can just watch and learn the activities they are working on, and the elder kids or the big kids can help the younger ones teach that activity, like how to do it. So basically a mixed age classroom is needed in a Montessori school or in a Montessori approach. Okay, so the whole concept is that both of the age groups support each other in their learning process. And if you see that the classroom is that your child is in a classroom where all of the kids are their age only, and the elder kids, they are in some other separate room, they are not following Montessori approach. Next point for a Montessori school is that you should be asking about the work cycle over there. Now, work cycle is a time where your child is allowed to explore the classroom, the activities on the shelf, to work on their areas of interest, and move forward. So if the school has there is a particular time of this work cycle as per the age. For 18 months to 3 years, it would be somewhere between 1.5 to 2 hours, and for 3 to 6 years, it should be at least 2.5 to 3 hours of the work cycle. Now, if the school has a curriculum or a timetable where your child is being interrupted after 1 or 1.5 or 2 hours to go and attend the dance class, or we are going outside to play, so that means they are disrupting the work cycle. The Montessori basically said that a 3 hour work cycle is needed to build that concentration to work on those skills, and if that is disrupted, that is not good for the child's concentration. So you can ask the school or the administration about the work cycle, whether they follow any work cycle protocol over there, or do they have a timetable kind of thing where, like, every 1 hour or 1.5 hour, they are just being interrupted and they have something else to do, or go out and explore, or have a dance class, or have a music class, or if these things are interrupted after every 1 hour, that means they're not respecting, or they're not following that Montessori principle. So now I come to the last point on my checklist, and which I found the most important one, is that you should be asking the school whether they have any curriculum that they follow or not. Now, if they say that, preschool curriculum, yeah, there should not be a curriculum for such young kids, that's a big red flag for you, because in Montessori we have curriculum for 5 different areas: sensorial curriculum, language or literature curriculum, mathematics curriculum, art curriculum, and practical life activities. So if they say that, for a young child we are not following any such curriculum, and they have taken the follow the child, or freedom to the child philosophy in a very different way, that they haven't curriculum from all these areas, it's a big red flag for you, and you can definitely cross that school from your list. Because if your child is going to a Montessori school, and if you're paying that much to them, and they do not have a curriculum to allow your child to explore different areas, I don't think that they should be calling themselves Montessori at all. Now, I hope after going through these checklist points of mine, you should be able to find a high standard Montessori school in your area that follows most of these points, or at least some of these points that are genuinely, that you can relate to. Now you have a clear idea of how a Montessori school should be in a genuine sense. because Montessori schools, they are not cheap, okay? And if a school is just using the name and taking the benefit out of that name, that's not a good thing. Now, if you are unable to find any Montessori school in your area that fits into these standards, that is fine. But at least you shouldn't be thinking that you're sending your child to a Montessori school, which is actually not, following those Montessori principles. Now you're aware that which school is actually genuine in Montessori terms and not just in the name. So if you have any question regarding any of the points I have discussed here, do let me know down in the comment section. So if you're watching the video till the end, I would like to tell you that this is my first YouTube video that I have recorded like this. I am very tired. I'm doing it in the middle of the night, but just because I don't want you guys to wait more for the checklist, I have done this. So share this video or like this video. You can also tell me which type of content would you like to see more videos on, okay? And I would try my best to bring those to you. That's all for today. See you guys next time. Bye bye.